G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to go a little bit off script. It's not going to be about my car, it's going to be about my nephew and his cars. In particular, one that he just recently acquired. So sit back, this is all about his MR2. Alright, so back in the mid-1990s, my nephew Liam was born, and I never really had that much of a close relationship to start with, because he'd always be around the people that he was closer to, like his mother, his grandmother, father, whatever, and I was kind of on the outside. He didn't get to know me until probably around about a bit over 18 months old, I think. I was involved with karate at first, and then later the army, which was kind of about the same time that I started to get to know him a little bit better. But he never wanted to be around me all that much, because he just didn't get to spend that much time with me, so he didn't know me all that well. So what happened was one day everyone had gone, and it was just me and him in the house, and he decided to come to me, and yeah, from there the rest is basically history. So here's that history in a nutshell. Okay, so we've always had a shared interest in cars and computers, pretty much. So cars primarily. Computers is more him being kind of coached and schooled by me, but always into games as well. So the games that he got into at the time, well, he first started learning with me on... I just bleeped that one out, because if you know, you know. I've just given you a big hint across my mouth, so I was always the responsible uncle. Let's fast forward a few years. At the time I was actually making a project car, a RAV4. Now, as far as I knew, I was the only one in the world who actually made one of these at the time. It was a first generation RAV4 combined with the GT4 Celica ST205 drivetrain and engine. I was told it was possible, and people actually said, yeah, you can do it. No one's ever tried it before, but you can do it. So I tried that out, and yeah, it became actually quite an interesting project for just about everyone involved. So at the time, while turbo RAV4s weren't anything new, I was definitely at the cutting edge of what you could do with modified RAV4s. So I had a fair bit of interest from people from around the world, mostly in Australia, New Zealand, the US, even as far as Russia. And there was this guy, Leonid, who made a turbo RAV4. I mean, I don't know if he actually did the same type of GT4 hybrid type of thing, but it was definitely one insane type of setup. When the project was finished, we went out to dinner one night. He wanted to have a go in my car, and he wanted to see what all this fuss was about. He was about 7 years old at the time. And here he is sitting in the passenger seat. I buckled him up, took him for a run, off the lights, and he's just gone straight into the seat, you know, back welded to the seat. And his eyes just lit up, and he's gone, oh, okay. And he's gone, that was good, more boost, more boost. I thought, okay, well, there's another one hooked. At that time, I think the seed was planted. So if it wasn't before, then that was the clincher. We had a common interest with PlayStations at the time. So Gran Turismo 3, 4 and 5 was all kind of making our ideal cars and who would be the faster ones and all that kind of thing. So a bit of friendly rivalry, and you know, he got actually quite good at it by the time Gran Turismo 5 was around. He actually made himself a green Mini that was pretty competitive on the track, as far as I remember. When it came around to him graduating from year 12, his parents actually bought him, funnily enough, a green Mini. Almost exactly the same one that he'd made in Gran Turismo 5. Except this one had a black stripe down it. So, racing stripes, because those were the things. Sounds alright.
He wants to drive this.
You have to slam it.
Like Jeremy.
You have to slam the door.
Yeah, you really have to slam the door.
He does look like Jeremy Brooks.
Come on, please. Anyway, he had a bit of experience on that, being a manual car, and he wanted to learn how to drive a manual car and everything. And he also had a bit of experience driving in my car, being a manual. So I took my car to as far as I wanted to go with it. What you see is what you get now. It's pretty much finished. But he wanted to keep on going with his green Mini. And after a while he decided, no, I'm actually going to go for another Mini instead. And that was a white Mini. So the Mini was an ex-hill climb and ex-tarmac rally car. Basically the front end had been de-seamed, as well as part of the roof was made a canvas type of sunroof. So it was more a cut and shut type job. So it's a Morris Mini K, which was one of the Australian built models, which came with an 1100cc engine to start with. But it had been swapped with a Leyland Mini Clubman engine, which is a 1275cc, which was also shared with the Moke and the Californian. It was basically the Leyland equivalent of the Cooper. So that engine was rebuilt, and it was rebuilt to just over 1.3 litres. The head was upgraded, it had double valve springs and upgraded rods as well.
Leave you feeling better or worse? Get in touch. Email you message us. Now, tonight at 9, or hit the podcast at triplej.net.au.
So a little bit after he bought the Mini and had a bit of fun in that, he decided to get a little bit more practical. So I think it was about 2019, he decided to get a Toyota Hiace. And this was, I think it was a mid-90s model Hiace, but it was a matte orange the whole way around. They call it the pumpkin, for obvious reasons. It's more about practicality than speed. He's still got that right now. Just backtracking just a little bit here. So in 2017, we went to the Mighty Kaimod's car park meet at Eastern Creek. JDM Mini. Liam still thinks it's too big of a car for what a Mini should be, but anyway. There was Supra Gramps, and there was quite a few other cars that were on display as well, but like most of the projects they'd done at the time. We were doing a count of Supras at the time for some reason. I can't remember why. But he was interested in MR2s, and I didn't really figure why. It just seemed a little bit weird. He had done all this research on MR2s. He knew which were the NA versions, which were the turbo versions. He was looking around at those cars, and he was just kind of sussing them out. And I thought, okay, well, it could be a later project. I mean, it could be one day type of thing. And it came around a little bit quicker than what I thought, because not long after he'd bought the Pumpkin, he actually had his eye on a particular JDM import, a 1995 GT spec. So this was the top of the line, and you know, he was quite interested in this, and it came over for a fairly modest price, a little bit elevated, but for top of the line spec, it's pretty good for what it was. Needed a little bit of work done, but it's nothing that can't really handle by himself. I mean, he is a mechanic after all. Turned out to be quite an interesting trip, because I'd never been inside an MR2. I mean, I tried fitting inside an AW11 MR2 from the 1980s. Yeah, it just didn't work. I'm 6'4". Yeah, I kind of have to drop myself into the car. It's even worse than this. So at least this I can actually fit into. I'm mostly legs, and the cabin is more spacious inside the Celica than it is an MR2. So a lot of people still confuse this with an older model MR2 or a Supra. A70 Supras or AW11 MR2s, they're all kind of around the same shape. And this was kind of the middle of the range type of thing. What we've got right now is a bit of footage from the time when he came up here from around the Sydney Central Coast area, and he came up and showed off his latest pride and joy. So we're going to go into what happened with that little trip up here. So we're going to take a look inside the car and outside and see what's what with it, and all the little foibles and everything that needed fixing, the experience and how the tables turned about how the boost got into his system. Very flash. What is this I smell? Mmm. That smells like Japan. It's okay now. Once the bass drops. Oh dear. Oh my God. Dear God, save my ears. Please. Oh no. Bass drop. Alrighty, let's go. Feels nice and solid. Get this bit disconcerting. Listen to the engine coming from the rear.
Oh, how the tables have turned now.
Yes.
How the turntables have.
How the turntables.
Yes. Much better. Is it me or is the gearbox sound a little bit whiny? Don't worry about the gearbox noise anymore. Just got thrown back. More boost, more boost. How the tables have turned. Suddenly here I am in the passenger seat, 7 years old. Boost. Beautiful. Very nice. Pretty smooth. He's happy. He's finally part of the club.
His first drive.
Hear that?
Yeah.
That's not turbo. It's got good position. I thought I wouldn't be able to drive one of these. The AW11? No chance.
Oh, barely steady.
I love it. Beautiful.
Bring back memories of the RAV4.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Kind of miss that car every once in a while. Sorry. Beautiful. Nice and smooth. Very smooth.
Is it like a hybrid between the Celica and the RAV pretty much?
It is. It's got the same power as the RAV. Arguably smoother than the RAV as well because that was just a hodgepodge. But yes, same engine, same generation. But yeah, same riding position as the Celica. But yeah, it's actually nice and snug in here. Hi ho into the sunset. So now we have a brief montage of all the pictures that he's had since he bought the car and came up here and went to a local show with me, and a few other pictures since then. So we'll finish out the video here. Thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you around next time.